program H.A.R.P actually is an acronym developed by the Navy and Air Force, and it stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Project. And this is a project operating here in Alaska, just about 250 miles northeast of Anchorage. What they've done is they've developed a system. It's actually a field of antennas, and they're about 70 feet high. At this particular time, there are 48 constructed antennas. And what they do is by energizing them with electrical energy, which is converted to radio frequency energy, it radiates from these antennas in what's called a phased array grid. So they fire them in series to cause the energy, the radio frequency energy, to focus to a relatively small area in the ionosphere. And this is the first phase of a multi-level phase. This first phase will actually produce an effective radiated power of 1 billion watts. And then it's scheduled to go to 4 billion watts approximately in the second phase, and then a anticipated level eventually by the planners of 100 billion watts of effective radiated power. The ionosphere is an area, it's approximately 30 to 600 miles above the Earth's surface, and it's an energized area, and it acts more or less as a filter or a screen against incoming radiations that would be quite damaging. For instance, X-rays and cosmic rays are screened out in the ionosphere. And this is extremely important because when you compare it to, say, the ozone layer, which is screening out ultraviolet, which can cause skin cancers and severe sunburns, what we're talking about here is something much more important in terms of its environmental impact. This is a very critical area of our environment. It's also the area that radio signals are bounced off of to get the effect of radio over large areas. In this case, however, the radio frequency energy they're utilizing is for specific weapons applications. Tesla was quite brilliant inventor. In fact, in the 1880s, he had developed the entire system of AC power generation and transmission. And that's what we operate in our households on today. In fact, people remember Edison as the pioneer in electrical energy and its uses for practical uses and application. However, Tesla's applications were much more readily utilized by the American world as a whole. In fact, that's what we use today. But he was also involved in advanced weapons research and other technologies, including beaming electrical energy from one part of the planet to another, which is sort of an overlap on the H.A.R.P program in one particular application. But when you look at H.A.R.P, what you find and what we found is 12 basic patents surrounding the technology. And within this patent cluster, the lead patents were by a gentleman by the name of Bernard Eastland. Dr. Eastland was actually, his whole creative stimulus behind the H.A.R.P transmitter was
the H.A.R.P program. U.S. government has a new ground-based Star Wars weapon which is being tested in the remote bush country of Alaska. This new system manipulates the environment in a way which can disrupt human mental processes, jam all global communication systems, change weather patterns over large areas, that's happening right today, interfere with wildlife migration patterns, negatively affect your health, unnaturally impact the Earth's upper atmosphere. The U.S. military calls its zapper H.A.R.P, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program.
He was also involved in advanced weapons research and other technologies, including beaming electrical energy from one part of the planet to another, which is sort of an overlap on the H.A.R.P program in one particular application. But when you look at H.A.R.P, what you find and what we found is 12 basic patents surrounding the technology. And within this patent cluster, the lead patents were by a gentleman by the name of Bernard Eastland. Dr. Eastland was actually, his whole creative stimulus behind the H.A.R.P transmitter was based on Tesla's original work and some of the theories of Tesla regarding weapons applications. Although the actual technology is probably quite different, the idea is essentially the same, creating in Eastland and Tesla's case a shield to protect the United States from weapon systems that might be engaged against us. And that's really where the root of this invention rests.